I just had a few things on the unfinished business. One was apparently our county has not turned in the September 2024 semi-annual report. We're apparently one of two counties that have not turned it in. I don't know, I don't think it's very involved, but it's just gonna be a matter of Rachel going back in and just still doing that paperwork. So I just wanted to put that on there. I don't know if there's any punishment for it yet, or, I just wanted to flag us for like.
Did you let her know?
Yeah, I've sent her some emails about it, but it would be Rachel, I think, is
Rachel and Edna.
and
that's the, semi-annual.
yeah, that for September 2024. And
There he is, is that Robert?
so I just wanted to make a note of that, and then we can, kind of remind myself too.
Yeah, next inventory will things in.
Hey, Robert. And then, the fund balance, I was kind of hoping that at some point we could probably get an accounting of what's left in the fund balance, because the last report I had was from like a year ago. And I know we've had some deposits to it and a couple of withdrawals. And I feel like we're getting to a point now that we'll need to know how much is in there so we know how much we have to spend. We don't want to overspend it. We don't want to underspend it because we would lose it. So I just, if we can get an accounting of that.
I thought it was a little over it.
I think I'm thinking 88, maybe.
Very well, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Just going through the math of it. I'm just trying, I don't know, there may be some withdrawals out of it. I'm not aware of. Also kind of, I don't know if we really discussed if we want to use a contract, an arrangement, like for people who have, filled out the application and we do approve their application. Do we want to set up a contract arrangement with that organization or individuals or whoever? I think as, such as quite a bit of money that we're allotting, we might want to consider.
That's reasonable monies. And I don't think we have a policy, but when we give somebody money, what's their responsibility to the organization after you get the money?
Well, that's where I think the contract would help us with that. Because right now, without it, we're not really, it's up to them to report to us, but we haven't.
But we have a bylaw, so that. Have to get the next year.
Right now, as far as I know, all they do is turn in their receipts.
Turn in the receipts, I know that.
Turn in receipts. I'm just thinking as we allot, like, we have someone requesting quite a bit of money, just to,
Personally, I think not doing anything. I think that they should be responsible for what they did.
oh, yeah, I think they can, because we've got to show, like, we're audited, we've got to be able to show that that was spent.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you got, if you get a bylaw for anything like that, it's up to you to do it.
Well,
They
no,
can sit in
And
there.
they agree, when they get the money, they agree to buy that.
to buyback?
They agree to buy that.
Oh, yeah,
of
course.
Set up.
So we have the application process now.
Yeah.
So they have to kind of explain to us what they're gonna do, or how they're gonna be responsible for getting the information back to us. But I do think we need to have some type of follow-up or contract.
And I don't think we should micromanage how they spend it, but there should be some period.
Isn't the board, kind of accountable
Yeah.
for what money is, divvied out?
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think that we have to have a paper trail of some kind, right?
That's what we do. Right now, all they have to show, they have to turn in the receipts and show that they spent it for what they said they were gonna spend it on. That's what we got right now. So,
What do you want us to vote?
What are they talking about when they say that you have to spend in your own county?
or it has to be available for people in your county. We can spend it outside the county, but it has to be that
Yeah,
people
people have it.
inside our county have access to that. Because we have a request coming in today, and the funding would be going outside of our county, but it would benefit Houston County residents.
So I'm gonna ask for some, funding today. Not a lot, but not a very big amount, but enough to get us through, Christmas with the guys.
And
And,
we'll put that on under business, so. Okay.
yeah.
Well, if y'all, aren't opposed, I know I presented a contract, agreement. I'd like to, even if we don't, we'd have some type of, form that we give to someone after if we have voted to give them money, that they have something that shows that they understand their responsibility, for the funding.
Yeah.
And that they have to report back to us. So I can work on that, and I can just email it to y'all, and then you can let me know if you think it's okay. The next, I just wanted to ask about the Purdue opioid settlement. The deadline for that was September 30th. I know Joey thought pretty comfortably that we had applied for that. I was just gonna ask him if we,
Yeah,
sure we
I think only he knows, and, because I
You
haven't
know, it
heard.
was applied for.
the Purdue opioid settlement, did we fill out the paperwork for that to be part of that funding?
I'm not sure, I can go find out.
Yeah, the deadline was September 30th, and I don't think it's not gonna be the same amount of funding as what we received in the initial abatement, but it'd probably be significant enough, probably 10, 12,000 a year, is what we estimate, so. That's that Purdue opioid settlement.
Yeah, we have a deadline.
It has already passed, but, so I wanted to double check and see if we did get that information, and get that filled out. And that was only wasn't that difficult, it's a little one-page form, all they do is just check yes, we want to do it. Okay, so, do we have any other unfinished business, is anybody can recall that we've had? Okay, so our next, we have, an application that has been submitted for and I may be pronouncing this, Appraise? Appraise. It's a service center, neighborhood service center, and April Clark, did everybody get the application
So
here?
the pictures are really nice.
Yeah. April Clark is here, and she can answer any questions that you have from the application.
I'm going to give you all this, it gives you a better picture. I'm a visual girl.
And I know by the application, she's asking for 30,000.
So what that is 19 townships and then a treatment neighborhood service center on site in one gated community for long-term permanent housing. And it will be for residents of Houston County and neighboring counties, 72 beds. Burns on Highway 96.
And I had submitted the application to Trevor, who is our state opioid consultant, and he did have a few questions, and I did talk to April a little bit about it, and he said that one thing that wasn't specified in the application was first, is Houston County residents, are they guaranteed slots? I mean, so like if we had someone we needed to send,
We got money for this.
yeah,
2 years ago.
2 years ago, 20,000, 2 years ago.
Yes.
And then,
Yes, so we had Tennessee Department of Mental Health and the Tennessee Opioid Abatement Council sign on to do all 19 houses. You all gave money to help with the neighborhood service center. Because we had 2 state departments, we had to get legal involved and separate the deeds and appraisal and handle the restricted covenants. So we did have about 18 months delay in starting. We started it this past spring with the general contractor to be completed by March of 2026. This request is for furnishings for both the service center and housing. And we would be spending that money between April 1st, 26th and July 1, protecting residents.
Are these for 72 individuals or 72 families?
72
Individual, yeah.
well, this one was separate from,
first,
Some separate.
if we have to get approved, because that's one of them on those doing.
Right.
And we had to say that we had so many beds, is that correct?
Yes.
3 beds we were guaranteed.
Right. We don't have no problems. No, you're fine. We've had several in the application. You can see all the counties that are involved. We've had several counties get involved. There will not be a problem getting, having bed space for any Houston County that needs it. I mean, we can say 3, we can say 5, but if 8 need it, we're gonna service 8. I mean, we're not cutting services off based on what the county provides. We've had counties give 100,000, we've had counties give 75,000.
Is this long-term,
Long-term permanent housing.
permanent?
So this will be after detox, after treatment.
Mm,
And the great thing about this is it's not 10, 12, 16 weeks. There's 4 people, and they have their own washer and dryer, they can do their own cooking, they're gonna go to the grocery shop. There's not one person in the house cooking for everybody. They're physically gonna have to do their own things. And we will not kick them out in 6 months. They can stay for, until they.
do they have to pay anything to stay there?
150 a week. So it's only 600 a month. And it's more individualized. The goal is to teach them to be self-sufficient.
Mhm.
Which is located in
Right past the Shell station, about a mile on the left towards the
Okay.
intersection. Yeah.
That's what the intersection is.
You can go by there and there's lots of construction, and lots of truck cars lined up on the main highway, because I hear from the mayor.
Do you all I guess you monitor them.
Afraid. That's us. We created that name. So Mid-Cumberland Human Resource Agency, that's not an organization or anything. That is a French term for coming after. And I created that name for this particular project because it's after treatment, after detox. So it's not a corporation of any kind. It's just a name that I created for this particular program.
And I'm sure you all have steps in place to monitor these
Oh,
that
absolutely.
are here to
Yeah,
make
this
sure
is
they
a-
don't fall.
This is a $7 million project. We've raised $500 million. We're just trying to tie up the loose ends and get the last little bit. There's 24-hour security. There'll be case managers on site. They will have to do outpatient treatment there at the neighborhood service center. They'll be drug tested, every week, and they have to follow a list of rules in order to stay on our premises.
I did have a question when I looked through the application. How long is this treatment program? I didn't really see like
Forever.
I'm sure
It's long-term, that's the key.
so someone could be in there for,
2 years, 5 years, 2 months. Now, I will tell you, I've got 30-plus years' experience. Tying somebody up for 2 years is gonna be hard to do, but we will allow them to. Unfortunately, now, most of our transitional housing available to us is 6 months or a year. And whether they're ready or not, they have to go. And so this is different. It's through a CHIE program for the Department of Mental Health and TLAC. There is no deadline. It'll be based on individual need. Each individual case will be evaluated each month. Based
So
on their need.
the people who would be staying here then, probably coming out of a treatment center, so this would be like a next step after
Correct.
treatment, where they would have to get to and from work.
Yeah, we would transport them.
Hmm.
We have vans Mid-Cumberland has a transportation program already,
Hmm.
and we will transport them, plus our PRAY program has requested a van for 2 vans.
it said, in the application, 70% would come through court.
Yeah, it's estimated that about 70% will be judicially involved, but also the good thing about this program is you don't have to be. I can tell you from experience, I get calls all the time from grandma that grandson needs treatment, but he hasn't been in the court system yet, but he's headed there if we don't get him some help. So that individual would be able to come as well. Does not have to be justice involved.
Could be a walk-in as opposed to court order.
As long as you have detox and treatment. If you have gone to detox and not gone to inpatient treatment, then we're going to get that for you before we put you in the housing, because that's obviously needed.
So, a referral could come from a hospital or
Come from a hospital,
from pretty much,
family
okay.
member, or the court. It is important to us to not make it just justice involved.
Once you feel they're, I don't know that you ever get cured, but once you feel that they're on their own, then are they asked to move, or they can,
No, we will never ask. It's
so
long-term
they can
permanent housing.
continue to live there even though they're kind of coming to life.
And males will stay longer. Females do not tend to stay as long because they want to get back to the children or something of that nature, but males will stay longer.
But at some point, you would realize, when they reached a point, if you feel like they're using this as a crutch, at some point,
Sure.
you're gonna like.
Well, the goal is to get them on their own feet.
Yeah.
That's why we're only charging $150 a week, so that they can save money to be able to afford their own deposits and down payments on electricity and rent and things like that, in a year or two. I think most people are gonna stay between a year and 18 months.
Yeah, that's about right.
And I'm sorry, so were you able to guarantee a certain number of beds for Houston County?
I told him we won't turn people away. It doesn't matter. We've had people get 100,000 or 75,000. They're not gonna get any quicker access than Houston County for giving 30. If we say 3, but we have 8 people that are gonna take all 8, but for sure we'll do half beds available for everyone.
Robert wanted to know if they can't pay the 150, what happens, so they don't pay that.
So if they can't pay the 150 in the beginning because we're gonna get them jobs, then we'll just bump it. And then we'll split that, when they do start getting a payment, they may pay $20 extra, a month until they chew that 150 up.
Mhm.
Because they're not gonna pay the first 2 weeks. We're gonna have to get them, drug screen assessed. The first 10 days, they'll be drug screen assessed, and then probably go to work in 2 weeks.
Well, this would be different.
So,
The commission still have to vote on
yes, because we really just refer them, you were just saying you'd have to actually get it on there tonight for the January commission that we vote on that.
That'd be on tonight's agenda.
it. It's right here.
I'm all for it. We tell people, I don't know if we get 14, I think we'll agree on 30. If we can't get agree on 30, what about 20?
Take what you can get.
That actually says 20 in here.
That was,
Yeah, that's what was given previously,
Yeah.
so.
There it is.
And I feel like this is to me, this is kind of what this
This
money
is
is
what
for.
it's for.
It's to help get people get treatment, so I'm all for it. As long as I know that if Houston County, like if we have Houston County need, that it can be addressed there.
I will tell you that we've gotten our bids for our furnishings per townhome, and it did come in at a little over 100,000.
But one thing, honestly, I feel like this is what this money is for. We don't know. We think it's around 88, but we're not sure. We're trying, you think that's about, right about 88?
She kind of covered the profits of her head initially, because when we first did this, correct me if I'm wrong, but you there too, they weren't gonna let us give any money for a facility outside the county. And
We,
we had to get a commitment from the facility that citizens would give it. At that
Yes.
time, that was a 3.
exactly. We have to, we can't give money if Houston County residents aren't going to get some benefit from it. So that would be.
Initially, that was a concern, and because it was a capital project, but after TOHC realized what we were doing, I think they have now since advised the counties, as long as your residents have access to it.
Will they give us something showing that we are eligible to use this facility?
I can give you, if you have a contract or a commitment.
Yeah, I
letter,
think we'll try.
We'll need something seriously because the committees, they do check us.
I can do a letter of commitment or something of that nature.
I'm going to work on a contract too. We have some sample contracts that we can work with and kind of just tweak it to
Absolutely.
yours, and then, so we can have that ready for you.
Al, to me, you're the expert at this table. What do you see and what do you think?
Well, I'm just wondering, you're gonna have some men that are gonna be court ordered.
We will.
You're gonna have some that are walk-ins. And the rules are a little different for, those different types of clients that you're gonna be bringing in. And is there gonna be any type of NA meetings, AA meetings?
Absolutely, yes.
Uh,
We'll have those 4 times a week there, and 2 of those are gonna be open up to the general public. So like DACA has meetings every day, so we're gonna have 4 meetings a week. We're gonna keep 2 of them private for only our men, but we're gonna let 2, people within the community come in, because it's important to mix them so that they gain that support from the outside community as well.
And where, I'm not real familiar with this area, what county is this in?
Dixon County.
Oh, it's in
Highway
Dixon
96.
County. I
If you
see.
don't go to the interstate,
Yeah, 40.
if you go the wrong way to the interstate, you're
And
back.
196.
And one thing, like she was saying, we were talking earlier, it's close enough that, family's gonna come visit, but you don't want Houston County people in Houston County. You really do need to send someone who's having a problem with addiction to get them a little away from, and that too, you gotta maybe get them away a little bit.
And one of the good things, and I think I mentioned this to y'all when I was here 2 years ago, but we have officially got it off the ground. In the bottom of this neighborhood service center is a visitation reunification room, where there'll be a game room so that the males and children can come to their home. Because right now, I've been dealing with community corrections in this manner for all these years, and so many of my clients have to see them at the state park or at McDonald's, and they never get to come to where dad lives. So here the children won't be allowed in the townhomes, but we are gonna have that space available in the basement there to where they can begin their visitation. And it can be supervised by DCS or unsupervised.
So I'm with an organization called Safe Harbor here in town.
Absolutely.
Mhm. And many of the guys that graduate from our program after a year, 9 months, and then they have to work outside for 3 months, and then they come back and get their certificate. And a lot of them, some of them, would be working in Dixon right at Crown Bakeries. That's one of our big accounts. So this would be like a social living home.
Absolutely, but they would be eligible.
They would
We
be
send our
eligible.
clients to you guys as well at Safe Harbor, right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, it'd be less intensive than what Safe Harbor is.
Well, it's a step forward from where they're at with us.
Correct, right. That would be ideal for something like that.
That would be a step down, more or less.
Yeah, in other words, from where we're a little bit more structured and disciplined because we have so many that come from jail and are released on their court order to be there. But some of them are walk-ins, and it's just a mix of things. But we have strict rules about if you are incarcerated basically, and you're living at our facility, you can't leave and go and can't go to work for the mayor or do anything like that outside without supervision. In this situation, a lot of them will be coming off of probation because when they get done with us, maybe probation is done. Now they're going to want to go to a place like what you're suggesting here, as the next step towards being totally on their own.
Yeah, that would be an ideal client. We would also take furloughs. I know you're familiar with furloughs. It would be eligible for furloughs as well, as long as they went to treatment first. We would coordinate with, treatment providers and give them treatment and then bring them into the home. We work with that. And if they're on probation or community corrections, we're going to work with that program based on their requirements and ensure that they're following those requirements as well.
Well, if they're coming from us in their furlough, they've already had a whole year of accountability.
Right.
Not only to us, but to the courts and to their probation and parole boards.
And it'll be important for us. The reason that this model works, and I'll share with y'all, I share with Melinda, this has been a dream of mine for years that I was just, 3 or 4 years ago when my executive board said, if money wasn't an object, what would you want to do? And I immediately said housing. We just don't have enough long-term housing. We're not piling people in on top of each other. But because it's this type of community, it's important to get those people that have a year or two clean and those people that have a month or two clean, or even somebody's got 5 years clean. You want those individuals to have that resource there on site to work together. So it's not just for all the newbies. It could very easily be for someone who's got 2 or 3 years clean.
And when it's fully operational, you can have
72.
72.
And we do have 24-hour security, and we also saved one of our townhomes for local law enforcement there in Burns. One of the Burns Police Department is going to live there on site, so that would act as a deterrent for any misbehavior that we are sure to have. Right now, 9. And we're still, we were going to start small. Obviously, I'm not opening this up and putting 72 people on site, in the first month. My vision is to bring in about 10 a month until we, get to
I would have to tell you, you're probably going to get overwhelmed real fast.
I already have people asking me every day, when are y'all opening? When are you opening? I'm like, we're getting there. But it's been a long process, and it's not something that Mid-Cumberland's taken lightly, but it's certainly something that we feel like that we are gonna model for the state of Tennessee. We do have state investment, and, you know, it might be we do one of these models in West Tennessee and East Tennessee after we prove that this one, you know, is successful.
Do that again, Robert, ears are also stuck up about how many from the
I
county.
think if we get the 30, we should guarantee it's that.
That's fine. I think we might take more than 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's,
I think it should be
We
in
had, that's what we
writing.
had to have.
Yeah,
If-
we'll get that, we'll get a
let's,
contract.
and let me just verify, 5 if they're available. You know, I can't hunt down people if they're not interested, but obviously, you know,
Right.
if there's only 4 interested, I can't go find the 5th, you know,
Oh,
so to
that's-
speak.
All right,
Yeah.
you're not gonna-
I mean,
That's
there
up
may
to-
be, and there may be years where I take 8 or 9 or 10, you know, just depends.
We just didn't make sure, because we did get kind of chastised about that.
Yeah, absolutely, I get it. We've done that for other counties. Not a problem.
I know.
Oh, it's gonna be a
Such
lot.
I know.
I'm gonna do,
It is.
It's such a problem out there.
we're gonna go slow and steady.
I think it sounds like a wonderful program. I really do. It's been well thought out and.
Now, I'll tell you, I mean, like, I know, I've seen some guys get out and they don't have transportation to even,
Yeah.
they have to walk to
I
get to a
ran the
bus.
community
You got a
corrections
key to
program
get in.
in senior probation for 33 years. So those guys you're seeing, those are my guys. And I've had to work with Safe Harbor, I've had to work with Kimberly and Freeman and every treatment facility in Middle Tennessee, the drug court. We work with them, you know, you're just scraping to get people help wherever you can.
Sometimes I like to get around it, but you see them walking in the road.
Can't do that.
I'm trying to have a good look.
Our rules state that you are not allowed to leave the premises on foot because A, we're in Dixon County, and B, it's been such a problem. I mean, there's been a lot of
We won't
backlash.
let anybody leave unless they have a good plan, good enough plan.
It'll be a gated community, and you have to be transported by your own vehicle if we permit that, or our transportation. Because also, we're on Highway 96, it's just, that's not real safe.
Mhm,
You can't afford people walking up and down that highway, people drive pretty fast, it's not like in the city.
mhm.
Are you asking for this one-time funding? Would you come back in future years and also be asking for additional funding?
It's not reoccurring. It's not
Okay.
reoccurring. I'm asking for it, you know, I 2 years ago, I asked for it to go to the building. Now we're coming up short on furnishings, so I'm asking for it then, but it's not something, you know, I didn't come last year. And it's not something that I anticipate coming every single year asking for the same, but on an as-needed basis, we may come back, you know, down the road. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
totally
you need
understand.
23,000, did you say?
The request is for 30, but the bid for per townhome is 23. So we've requested 30 from you guys, 30 from Stewart, 75 from Waverly. Dixon's give 150.
And Trevor just mentioned that the exhibit E won't allow for purchase of furnishing, but we could put it in as recovery housing.
Yes,
We
the
could-
house,
yeah,
yes.
just- So
That's it.
it just can't be worded as
On the
furnishing.
application, we did a TOAC application as well, and it's all the same strategies. And we had to identify what strategies we fell under. This application, we put it under the same strategies if we did the actual Tennessee Oklahoma County.
And if they were okay with it, then we
Correct.
should be fine.
Yeah, they did 2.4 million, so,
Oh, that was good.
yeah, it was nice.
Do we have any other questions or concerns or?
So I just wanted to clarify on the transportation. So, any case where someone had been through detox and their rehab and everything, and they didn't have transportation to get here, you all provide that?
We can't do it in the agency van, depending on where the treatment is, if it's not within region, but we will have a program van that can go.
Who, if you don't mind me asking, what partners are you dealing with down there in Dixon? Like, you know, where you guys gonna work?
Tensco, okay, so.
From Tensco? We got a contract with Tensco?
We don't have a contract yet, because we don't have a building yet,
Right.
but we intend to get a contract. We've had discussions with them. We also have a program called Preserve, that's trying to do workforce essentials, and they take care of putting our people to, do it. Sometimes we may not go send them to work, we may send them to boat test school. You know, they'll take care of paying for their schooling or, getting a job ready to get a job.
Mhm.
But we work through that program as well
That's good.
now with our current clients.
If we feel comfortable with this, we would need to make a recommendation to send this to the council tonight, right? So, yeah, January.
And that's okay. We won't spend this money until April.
I don't feel comfortable doing it until we get a letter certifying that, we will get 3 or 5 slots, whatever.
January's fine, because this, I mean,
You're not gonna be doing a lot. through
we're not
the
doing
holidays.
any, we won't spend this money furnishings until April. Because our our general contractor won't be done until March.
We can, I can work on the contract, and I'll let the council look it over and see what if they feel okay with it, and then we'll, get with you, and then,
Before January.
yeah, y'all meet the third, Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And so we need to probably meet the second Tuesday. So we can have at least a week ahead to get on the agenda.
You know, we shell plant thing is right across the street, and then there's a church, and you between.
Right beside it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
we're right beside it. Well, now, there's not the church on down on the curve that used to be a church and it used to be a bar and then it was a
Yeah.
church again.
We
No,
did
we're
it
back in
now.
front of it. We're back in front of it. So we're beside the little church, the Lifestyles right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a senator on that.
Yeah. It went back and forth for a minute.
Yeah, make up their mind.
Yeah, it did. But we're right there on that street.
I could be wrong, but I think our working session meeting is the 13th of January.
Or take it in January.
And then, the legislative body is probably the 20th on a Tuesday because of the holiday. So we need to meet beforehand, and she needs to have her letter done, the contract needs to be done before we can actually vote. But by doing that, you can have it on the agenda for the working session on the 13th.
So what day do we need to meet? The 13th?
I think we need to meet at least the day before the 12th
Is this December,
or the preceding week.
January?
January?
Man, are those reading glasses?
Here, you can have that.
We just got.
Be careful then, that costs $1.49.
I have several of those laying around.
I can keep up with it.
Okay,
Reagan's raised it, so I have to advise me.
so we need to meet before the 13th.
Yeah, that way it gets discussed in a working body meeting.
I mean, it's kind of early, but what about January 6th? Do y'all, you'd want to meet before, you wouldn't want to come here for a special meeting, right? I mean,
No, the 13th should be the regular meeting, and then the voting would be on the 20th.
all right, so meet on the
13th.
Yeah, the 13th is the working body. I mean, we could meet before the working body meeting and meet at 5, just like that on the 13th.
On the
13th.
5 o'clock on the 13th. Okay. Well, that'll give us time and we can get all that to, get all that worked out.
You have my email, so just.
Plus,
email
we'll know how
me.
much money we got.
I sure hope so. I kind of like that. I feel like we need to,
We need to know
we
that.
need to know that, yeah.
You're getting another drop too in March, and I think there's 2 lawsuits that hasn't been settled yet that I hear is supposed to be getting settled, so that might increase it a little bit.
Well, I was just checking on the Purdue settlement and that, I figured that's gonna be another about 10,000 probably coming to us, and then there's some more. Yeah, so we might have a little bit more. Yeah, and Joey just said that he's pretty sure the Purdue settlement was signed, so we should be getting some of that money. Okay, well,
I'll be back on the 13th then, if you need me to.
yeah.
Nice
and
to
I will-
meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, I think it's a great program.
Thank y'all for consideration.
Thank you.
One of the things Al mentioned a few moments ago, and I don't know how we're gonna bring it up or whatever, was helping the guys out down at Safe Harbor for Christmas or whatever. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. He said 15, where I think 20 is probably more accommodating. I mean, we got 80 guys roughly,
Yeah.
$1,600.
Okay, so what would it be used for?
Christmas presents, things like shoes, clothing items. Most of these guys are disconnected from their families.
Yeah,
A lot of them don't even talk to their families. Christmas time is kind of a depressing season for many of them. But anyway, what we want to do is give everybody at least a $10, $15 gift. And, you know, any part of that you would be willing to provide, you know, we would take and use it. And of course, we would be accountable for anything that you did give us.
Don't know if it falls in the exhibit E though. I'm not sure. I haven't had time to study that. I didn't know this was,
Well, if we did it based upon the fact that it was for clothing, in there.
I don't think it can cover, it's like, kind of like the furnishing. I don't think it can cover clothing. I don't know. I feel like we can, you know, there's gotta be some way to, somebody borrow your own glasses in there.
It's really not fighting drugs.
Yeah, I know. It's gotta be,
There's gotta be a way that we can do it. It's just gotta be termed correctly.
Oh, that's crazy. We can do something for the commission.
Yeah.
Where's that goes? Can't do it here. Yeah, that's the problem.
I don't think the clothing or shoes will fall in the category. I think we're gonna have to come up with something else besides that.
yeah, I was like, is there, you know, do you have like, I don't know if you have like spendable funds, but is there something that we could fund and then those funds could do what you need to do? And then
What if we help fund a Christmas gathering for the families that were there?
I'm not sure. I need to.
And they're, you know, they're there, they're locked in, et cetera. But there's gotta be some way that we can help that time of year for the families to get together.
I don't know where it could fall under.
Could be used for things like learning, things like Bibles, for example, could be used for things
Be
like
used
that.
for education.
Yeah,
That's what I was
exactly.
thinking.
Talking about.
1,000, 2,000,
Why don't you just say,
1,500.
$20 each would be $16.
you just say it's
What we just showed
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
just an educate.
you.
educational recovery services. I mean, there's gotta be a
We
way
got
to,
to
you know.
manage it.
You have, like, education,
Maybe that's the problem.
fund.
Mhm. No, we don't, but,
What
well, we do. I mean, we have,
could you put it
well, I can put it down. We can use, we can just, if we had to use,
Hey, Melinda.
funds, in other words, so we could use it to purchase educational equipment or material for the classes that they take.
Melinda, you know you got another guy that's got to speak.
No, I did not.
Huh. Mr. Bass, that guy in the suit.
Okay, all right, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have someone else who,
Yeah.
who's here to speak too. I think there's a way, if we could, you know, if you awarded educational recovery services for,
that would be.
Sorry, I whispered it in your ear.
Emily.
I think we can do that through the commission. We'll figure out something.
You guys have.
Yeah.
I think it's workable, we just gotta make sure we, you know.
And word it the right way, and
Exactly.
whatever we need to do on our end to support that, we will.
Can help.
The educational stuff, I think we could do something like that.
Mhm. Just really how to do it.
Get your education.
Good.
Going through that, what,
GED program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GED,
Exactly.
mhm.
So we're gonna be able to address that tonight with the,
And just worry about it.
Yeah.
For now. I'm sure you ain't got too much time.
Mr. Bass?
Yeah.
Did you want to, I apologize, I didn't realize you were, gonna be on the agenda.
No.
Come on up and tell us what you've got, yeah.
Thank you for inviting us. My name is Kevin Bass. I'm the Director of Drug Court Distribution District. And, Circuit Judge Suzanne Lockett Mash asked me to come and reintroduce you to our program. We've been in business for 27 years. Judge Robert Burke started the drug court 27 years ago. But that was a long time ago, and some people may not be aware of what we're doing these days. So she asked me to come and just give you a brief introduction to what we're doing. And I've included a brochure there, my contact information if you'd like more information. The drug court, as I said, has been in business for a long time now. We were one of the first interdiction programs for the drug problem in Tennessee. We were one of the first drug courts in the state of Tennessee, and now 85 drug courts across the state. Many of them were patterned after ours because we have had some great successes with our program. We usually have about 40 to 50 people in our program at any given time. It's an 18-month residential program. Very few drug courts are residential. Most of them, you just appear before the judge every couple of weeks and report on the progress as you're going through your addiction process. We have had about a 90% success rate, meaning people who graduate from the drug court program have a 90% chance of never getting involved in the judicial system again. You compare that to someone who doesn't go to any kind of treatment, it's about 10%. 10% of the world is like you and me. Is that your
recidivism rate? Because that's awfully high for recidivism.
Those who don't go through our program have about a 10% recidivism rate. They have a 90%. We have about a 10% recidivism rate. So 90% success rate.
Yeah.
Never get in trouble.
Well, that's very high. That's very impressive.
Been tracking it for several years. It shows the drug court works. Yeah, it's a very successful program. We have 4 houses all located in Dixon. Then we cover the 5 counties of this judicial district. Circuit judges can sentence individuals. That's how we get them to the drug court program. We send them to treatment. We get them jobs. They're in Dixon. We transport them to their jobs. We have daily AA meetings that they're sent to and transport them back. We getting them good factory jobs. INSCO is one of the employers that we use. Several have gone through and gotten the GEDs while they're in drug court. Again, it's an 18-month program to complete. Some take a little longer than that. Some take a little longer than that. And Judge Lockett Mash asked that I just answer any questions you may have about the program. And we have included in there age of our current needs. It's part of what we wanted to introduce to you. We currently are trying to restock our 4 houses with appliances. Some of them are 10, 15-year-old refrigerators, and they're not working well. We have 4 houses, so individuals are taking their clothes to other houses to wash them and bring them back, and things like that. If the good folks of Houston County can help us with a stove, and we're not asking you to tell them what all we're trying to come up with. Eventually, a stove would be wonderful, or maybe some appliances for one of our 4 houses or whatever. Down the road. Now, I don't know where you stand in the application process, but right now, there's a lot of match asked me to make you aware of some of our needs, and these are ongoing needs. It's not something that we have to have. We have just graduated one young lady from Houston County. HIPAA doesn't allow me to name names, but we have had 30, I just got them this afternoon, we've had 33 applications from Houston County in the last 8 years. Not all of them were accepted. You can't come to drug court if you have a violent felony on your record, for example. We also assess everyone. Some people are serious about getting well, and some people are not. So we don't necessarily take everyone who applies. We have had 32 applicants from Houston County. times we don't necessarily accept them into our program, but we know they need treatment, and we'll provide free transportation down to Memphis to 3 treatment centers that we use and pay for by the state. Whether they come to drug court or not, we're not interested in just those who want to come to drug court. If we can help you, we'll help you. And so we've had another, I'd say 10 or so from Houston County that we've just taken to treatment because they needed it.
Are you talking about detox? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, 28-day treatment centers for Synergy's a 1-year treatment center we're taking now. If a lawyer calls us and says, look, I want to put this guy or this lady to treatment, but they don't have the funds to get down to Memphis, y'all are going to be going down there in the next few weeks. Would you mind letting them ride with you? Sure.
Well, how about if they put in a contract? And we deal with it in January, an application.
Yeah.
And,
I did have a question. You said it's like a residential.
Yes.
How many can you serve at a time? How many?
We currently have 4 houses and are up to about 50. We get over 50, it starts to get kind of tight.
Okay.
That's about 12 per house.
Yeah, I think because maybe an application would help us and would answer some of the questions that we probably would have. If I could give you my email, well, I guess I get yours and then I can email you an application. Is on, okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
right there.
I don't have my glasses on, sorry, but I can't borrow Reggie's here.
Just shoot me an email.
And I'm gonna give you $1. Oh, bye.
Come by my place. I got free glasses.
Well, if we could get the application, as soon as you can, that can give everybody time to look at it in advance of the, but I will say though that,
How much you asked us, for 18 or just whatever?
We're just making you aware of what our current needs are. If you don't have anything available, that's fine. I'm here to tell you what we're doing and if we're still around.
Yeah.
We're going to start our 27th year and helping people. Right now, we could use some appliances, but hey,
thank you.
y'all can help us, that's cool.
Well, it helps
Send
us,
us people.
helps us too, to kind of know what's, it helps us to also know what's.
In January, we'll try to help you.
Thank you.
The one thing I will say is, kind of like what I don't think the exhibit E will actually cover appliances. Is there something else that you can ask for? And then maybe divert money later for what you need here,
Sure,
but not.
we have meetings every night. We use workbooks. There's all sorts of things like that. Any need, we've received assistance before with transportation needs. We help out if there's, like Waverly storms and things like that. We needed a pickup truck to be able to get our generators and our saws and out there. We put them to work and they all do community service. We didn't have any way to haul our saws and stuff, so we used to make money to get a used pickup truck, from Waverly, actually.
I will send you the application, and if you get it back to me, as quick as you can.
Okay.
And then I can let our consultant, who's really good about helping us get it worded like it needs to be, so it'll be appropriate or approved. But I will get that to you, and then you'll present it on the 13th, and then they'll vote on it the next week.
the following.
Yeah.
Again, our primary purpose is just to let you know drug court's still there.
Yeah.
They're starting to use the term recovery court statewide.
Mhm.
They've asked us to change our name, start changing, but it's the same thing. Drug court is recovery court. Recovery just has a different appeal to it, I suppose.
Yeah. Well,
You'll hear those terms interchangeably.
well, thank you. Y'all are doing a good thing.
Yes, you
Thank
are. Be glad to.
I think I'd rather be in a recovery court than in a drug court. It does sound better.
Times change.
Yeah.
And we service everybody from, you can imagine the typical drug addict who needs drug court, you're wrong. Whatever you picture, you're wrong. It's not all an 18-year-old sitting out
No.
in a dirty t-shirt.
Trust me, I know.
And we've got people in the program now in their 60s.
Yeah, yeah.
We've had PhDs, we've had librarians, women, it affects
Anyway,
So you do have, the facility is for males and females, right?
Yes, we have a strictly female house and we have 3.
And that's good to know, because there's, you know, a lot of fewer facilities for women, you know, I know, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you, thank
Again,
you,
thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
There's. I hope you can read.
So is there anything else that we need to address tonight? I think we've heard some good proposals, and we can get some help for Houston County.
You had to talk louder. You had to talk louder.
Well, if nobody has anything else, I guess we can, take a motion for adjournment. All right. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to-
We're like Gilligan's Island, they went on a 3-hour cruise.
Yeah.
Well, it's
This
getting out
is,
there.
where this place is located.
Are y'all dismissed? Are y'all dismissed?
Yes.
I thought he said Dixon.
Oh, it's in Dixon.
Well, it's kind of good to know that there are facilities out there, because I guess when I started